This Vancouver Canucks prospect situation just got even more crazy as we get major reports surfacing of where Tom Willander and his camp stand heading into this offseason, which leaves the Canucks management in a very bad situation trying to figure out what to do with their top prospect. We're going to break down the implications where Tom Willander and his agent currently stand and what the Canucks can do with him heading into the future. We're going to break down all this and more later on this episode. Before we get into that, if you're a part of the 62% that's watching this and you aren't subscribed and you're enjoying this daily Canucks content, make sure to go down and hit that free subscribe button. It helps us out a ton, and in return, we'll help you out by keeping you up to date on everything to do around your Vancouver Canucks. But with that, we got up straight into the first topic today, where we do know there is a bit of a timeline with Tom Willander and the Vancouver Canucks. We seen just a few weeks ago from Cam Robinson of Elite Prospects say instead of flying west to begin his pro career, Tom Willander is back at Boston University and resuming classes this morning. Everything can change with one phone call, but it's easy to wonder if a battle over bonuses is delaying his signing with the Canucks. Now, looking at this, we know that Tom Willander has been playing with Boston University for the past 2 seasons after being drafted by the Vancouver Canucks 11th overall in 2023. We know he left Sweden to join Boston University to start his pro career in university. He has been outstanding with them as well. 25 points and 24 points, playing big minutes on their top pairing. Going into the Frozen Four after a season we all thought he was going to sign, but it does continue on where we do get more reports from Cam Robinson where he came out and said, I'm told that Tom Willander has left Boston University, which is a good sign. But then you continue on as he returned home to Sweden. Now, with him returning to Sweden, this doesn't necessarily conclude the negotiation to have him join Abbotsford for their AHL playoff run. Now, as I said, and as all Canucks fans know, we were excited and very certain that Tom Willander was going to finish the season with Boston University, head over to the Canucks to play the final few regular season games as they did not qualify for the playoffs, then continue on with Abbotsford to start his pro career with the Vancouver Canucks or Abbotsford Canucks in the AHL during their run for the Calder Cup. But as we've seen, he did return home to Stockholm, and it doesn't seem like this situation's getting any better where we continue on with more reports coming from Tom Willander's advisor, Todd Diamond. He says, our intent was/is to turn pro. But if we don't agree on a contract that Tom and his family are comfortable with, returning to Boston University and other situations become possible over the next few seasons. Now, this is not what you want to see. As a Canucks fan, Tom Willander is supposed to be and should be a huge part of the Canucks moving forward. As I said, the Canucks used their 11th overall pick in 2023 to select Tom Willander coming out of the Swedish Hockey League. We know that he can play pro. We've seen him do it in the Swedish Hockey League. We know he can play in college as he played with Boston University in the NCAA. But seeing his advisor come out saying is and was his intent to turn pro, they're going to look at other options become possible over the next few seasons. This does get very concerning with Canucks fans. Now, it continues on where we do know he returned to Sweden, and from once again, Cam Robinson is expected that Willander will join the Swedish national team and start training with them this week. Now, this is awesome. You love to see him join Team Sweden for the World Championship of Hockey, representing his country in Sweden, getting more development with guys, pro guys that did not make the playoffs. But seeing this, and with just Sega continuing of starting off by returning to classes, we know that going back to university, finishing his classes, and getting the education is something that Tom Willander really wants to do. His family agree with this. Then we see Tom Willander, of course, finish the season and then go back to Stockholm, continuing on with him joining the national team. And it doesn't stop there, where we do know in his end of season availability, we've seen Patrik Allvin said the Canucks are under impression that 2023 first round pick Tom Willander plans on returning to Boston University. This could still depend on two sides bridging contract stalemate. So this contract situation continues to drag on. This is a situation that the Canucks cannot really find the end goal with, and it doesn't seem like he's going to join the Canucks in the offseason. Now, we did get the full quote from Patrik Allvin where he says it's a lot of money for a young player to pass on. But there's information we had here as last week from his agent that the intention was to go back to school, will continue to work with Tom. Now, he does continue on to talk about his relationship with Tom, saying how well it's been, but Tom Willander continuing to hold out, looking like his agent saying, hey, we'll return to Boston University. We have unfinished business. They did not win the championship, losing in the Frozen Four. This situation continues to get tricky with the Canucks, and there's a lot of different outcomes with this. We could see them reach an agreement, as it said from one of these tweets here, where one phone call away could change things. But this situation could lead down to, hey, he's not joining the Canucks this offseason. He's going to play with Boston University. Then you get stuck at next year waiting for Tom Willander to conclude a season with Boston University. Then as a Canucks fan, you start to worry, hey, what about the other possibilities that we've seen his agent speak on? Is there another possibility of him playing pro overseas waiting for this contract? Is it a situation where Tom Willander might hit the block? Looking at the future of this team and where the Canucks stand, listen, we're not going to touch on Quinn Hughes. That's a completely different story. The best defenseman in the NHL, and I'll preach that to the choir. This is our best player. Now, looking at the defense, yes, you still have a lot of young faces. Filip Hronek's only 27 years old. You still have DPD within the lineup. You have Victor Mancini. But Tom Willander joining this team was something the Canucks expected. This is something fans have been looking forward to. With the rumors coming out, this does leave the Canucks in the situation of saying, hey, we're going to do everything. We're going to give Tom Willander whatever it takes to get him over. We know from Patrik Allvin that he's going to join their training camp in the offseason, but that doesn't mean he'll sign with them or continue playing. So looking at the Canucks and with just the future of this team, listen, there are a lot of young pieces on the back end. Victor Mancini traded and acquired, by the Canucks from the New York Rangers. Minio has been outstanding. We've seen him in the World Juniors Championships as well, continuing to progress into a great two-way defenseman. Kirill Kudratsov is another guy. There's a big list of guys that are on the Abbey Canucks right now that can make the jump or join this team in the season or two to come. But this does leave the Canucks in the situation, and it leaves a lot of fans thinking, with this being our top prospect, with Tom Willander set to eventually join this Canucks team, using an 11th overall pick on this guy, seeing how well he's played in every league he's played in, do you look at this and say, hey, the Canucks have one of the best trade pieces in the NHL. We trade this out, we get another piece. I know the Jack Hughes and the Luke Hughes rumors. Maybe you add Tom Willander out on this, or do you wait it out? I think, and my opinion right here is, you wait it out. You try to get Tom Willander signs. This is a future top four defenseman, right-handed shot, that has a huge impact on this team in the years to come. He's going to be a bright spot in the Canucks lineup the second he steps in. Yes, he might get some time in the AHL, but Tom Willander is a one-of-a-kind defenseman that the Canucks can't truly lose. And especially if we're looking at a Canucks team that might have to go into a quick retool. You don't want to lose your top prospect. But what's your guys' thoughts on this? What's your thoughts on just the timeline of the Tom Willander situation? What would you do with Tom Willander? What's your thoughts on Tom Willander? We want to hear all of it down below. So go ahead and leave a comment. While you're down there, leave a like, subscribe, share this with your friends. We'll be back with another episode, so keep your eye out for that. But I've been your host, Mark Pye. I hope you enjoyed this, and have a good day.